Alrighty, we are live. I love this. I love just being able to be live at any time. Um, so this is the joy of. Give me 1 second. I need to close the door. Actually. All right, I'm back, ready to go. I promise you, this is the only fantasy football stream that you will see that is streaming live from my bed as I draft an Eliminator draft off the cuff. I was just like working on some new ranks. I wanted to get them tested. I stream off a laptop, and my bed's more comfortable, and I have a headache. So, you shove that with a stick. Alright. Um, Now I need to get into the whatever it's called. Live control room. Let's give this a title and stuff. My gosh, not maintaining enough video. Dropping 27% of my frames. What do you mean? Oh, this is awful. What is going on with the Wi-Fi? 31.7? Jesus Christ. Alright. We're gonna stop the stream. We're gonna come back. You have no idea. You know what? We're just gonna leave this up. I think it's important that people see behind the making of this stuff. And yeah, give me a sec. We're just dropping frames left and right. How do we add our stream settings? Can edit the title. People and blogs is the category. I don't know how we got there. Uh, but sure. Right, has that fixed the dropping frames problem? I believe so. It's going down. I'm not dropping any more frames. Looks like YouTube stopped yelling at me. Alrighty. Alright. So, maybe I should have figured out how to start the stream before doing this crap. But, we're here now. And I'm going to be waiting for an Eliminator draft tonight. And I'm also going to be scoreboard watching the Cavs game. Because, why not? I want to see my favorite basketball player, James Harden, do well. Oh, Dean Wade, killing it. Love to see it. Alrighty. So, eventually, we're gonna be able to do more stuff. but we are here now. Okay, cool. I think we should be ready to go. So, the other thing I wanted to talk about was I have actually gone through and done like very preliminary ranks for this contest. I've gotten to 208. Past that, I really like past 200. Like, I really don't think it matters. Like, the difference between like I'm even looking at it right now and I'm like, why do I have Troy Franklin above Pat Bryant? I should switch those. So I'm actually going to go do that right now. But I'm gonna just sort of talk about my ranks and why I have some things that are like way different from the market. What do we want? Uh, Definitely above Chris Bell. I think above Tyreek, but below Darnell Mooney. Sounds about right. Um, and this is just my first pass. I'm sure as I continue to draft throughout the life of this contest, it's going to change. But for right now, this is where I'm at. So the first round, in my mind, should be going Bajan, Gibbs, Chase, Nakua, Taylor, McCaffrey, then Nakua, Gene T. We were having a discussion about this in the Discord yesterday, and I think um, both Kurt, Rambus, and BB Chosen had some good points about why the 12 ADP for Gene T is probably not indicative of where he should be. Uh, CeeDee Lamb, which is mainly here because it's bye week slate and he's a good receiver. Barkley, Brown, and then Hampton, I would say, is the 1.12. Now, this is something I was having to argue with a bunch of people um, yesterday, but I think Hampton is just good. Like, he's a first round pick that is widely considered to be a good prospect. He had a pretty darn decent year last year for how many games he played. Like, immediately was there and, missed 7 weeks. And, had an awful, awful doo-doo dog shit offensive line. I think with a repaired offensive line, a good coach from Mike McDaniel, and just an absolute breeze of an early schedule. Like, Chargers schedule. I mean, we already know they're 11-point favorites in week 1. They're probably going to be 7+ point favorites in week 2. We know last year the Bills' run defense was absolutely awful. Week 4 and 5, you start getting into some level of problems in the Chiefs. But, by week 4, I'm already in the money. And I think Omarion Hampton's a good enough player that even in bad matchups, he has the explosive potential to be a lot better. And when he's got good matchups, I really feel good about him. Jefferson, I think he's probably just as talented, or even more talented possibly than Amon-Ra and CeeDee Lamb, probably more talented, but a mixture of quarterback play and knowing that that offense is probably going to be a little bit slow to start because of all the newness of Kyler Murray, uh, makes me think he needs to be a little bit further back. And also, it's like this: you need to take running backs early in the Eliminator because you can only move Jonathan Taylor up a couple of spots. You can only move McCaffrey up a couple of spots. You can only move G&T up a couple of spots. Versus where I'm like sitting back here at the end, where it's like, look at these guys. I don't want to have to be taking Kyle Monungai at pick 85. Like, if I need to, I will, but I don't want to do that. I don't want to take Chris Rodriguez at 103. Like, I don't want to be taking Rashad White in the 120s. I don't want to have to take Tyler Algier at 150. Like, I'd much rather, like, and I'm going to have to do that because you need backup running backs. But I'd much rather be taking these top receivers. Like, even going down here, I don't really want to take Kyron at 31. Or, like, where's David Montgomery at 40? Like, that's awful. Like, there's very few running backs that I really want to take at their prices. And a lot of them are these early running backs. So the first round, like, even if I think JSN is going to outscore these running backs, I think it's probably not going to be by as much as I can get you know, Lad McConkey outscoring Quinshon Judkins or David Montgomery on average. So, that's where we're at with that in the first round. Oh, like don't screw me with my location. Um, yeah, if we're looking more into the second round, JJ, and then lots of running backs. Henry, Walker, James Cook, Bowers, McBride, Chase Brown, Josh Jacobs, Javonte Williams, Devon Achane, Rice, and London. So, yeah, looking at Javonte. Bye week's week 14. Don't have to worry about his bye until super late in the season. He is unquestionably the number one back in that offense, with no real even challenger to occasionally see touches. And let's be so for real. Do we think the Cowboys offense is going to stutter? No, I'm legitimately looking and I don't see the difference between Chase Brown and Javonte. And I want to be taking those sorts of profiles over good but not awesome receivers like Rice and London, Nico Collins. Because again, look at these receivers I can get in the third round. I can get T. Higgins. I can get Garrett Wilson. I can get A.J. Brown in the third round. I can get Malik Neighbors in the third round, even though I really don't want to take him there. Because I'm worried about this second surgery thing. I don't want one of my top picks to not be around for the beginning of the year. And we've only had the one season really of Malik Neighbors being excellent. And, these things can change. Brian Thomas exists. So, yeah. Another big difference I have from the market, Josh Allen. Yeah, these quarterbacks, eh, mm, yeah. It's just, they're not that different. Josh Allen, Lamar, Jaden Daniels, these guys are not that different from your Bo Nixes and Jordan Loves and Baker Mayfields that I feel the need or want to even consider drafting them in the second or third round. If I'm looking between getting Josh Allen, if you're looking at the 2v2s of, let's say, Josh Allen and, let's be nice, Josh Allen and Devontae Adams, who I like, or it's Josh Allen and Mike Evans, or Lamar Jackson and who would it be? Drake London? Like, the difference between Drake London and even someone who I really like in Mike Evans or Lad McConkey, or sorry, the difference between Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson is so much less than the difference between Drake London, who's a really good alpha wide receiver, and Lad McConkey and Mike Evans, who maybe that if we're really lucky, like, but probably won't be. I'd certainly bet on no. I'd certainly yeah. So I think this Josh Allen price is ridiculous, and I think anyone who's thinking thinks this Josh Allen price is ridiculous. I saw something today about Bucky's shoulder being good to go, should be good to go for week one. That's where my rank is right now, is assuming that he's good to go and doesn't have any major health concerns. If that changes, you know, if we're just questioning, he probably goes down to this Judkins Montgomery tier. Obviously, if it's a big problem, we'll be looking at Kenneth Gainwell in a more favorable light as well. He might even go up to this Blake Corum, like J.K. Dobbins, like this group here. But yeah, it's been an interesting little time, I must say. But I am excited to hopefully get the ability to continue the drafting process. And what? Yeah. It's nice to do this from the I might do this. This may be where I stream from on Sundays. Just spontaneously go live from the bed. I promise you, your other best ball streamers, they're not going live from their bed. They're staying in front of their polished little setups with their good, studio microphones, and they're spitting the same takes they heard Davis Matic talk about. I will do some of that. I will only spit the same takes I've heard Davis talk about, and then add, of course, my own personal opinion. So how are the Cavs doing? Cavs are up 31 to 22. We love to see it. What is going on with the Pistons? Oh, Cage just not getting good stuff. Cade plus minus minus 10. You'll love to see it. Oh, this like bench, like first bench unit run did not go well for them, it seems. Dennis Schroeder, 2 minutes plus 6. Love to see it. But yeah, as we go through the draft, we'll work more on it. Oh, we're only waiting for one person, so should be firing up pretty soon, hopefully. And obviously really excited for tomorrow uh, to see the first set of challenges come out. I do think I did pretty well on the challenge, so I am certainly hopeful about my chances of moving on to the next round. But, you can never be totally 100% confident or sure about something like that. So, we're just gonna I'm excited, like everyone else, to see. And if we get out, it's been fun. It's been a good launching point, and obviously still will be streaming these drafts because it's also nice for me. I get to keep these videos afterwards and get to over the course of the season, I get to see what I was thinking during the draft. I get to see what was going on in my head, be like, see if I can find any leaks in my own game, and be like, what the heck was I thinking then? That made no sense, or that just is a bad choice. You knew it was a bad choice and you did it anyway. Next time, don't do that. Stuff like that. Because I am certainly not above just making bad decisions because I made a bad decision. And it just, sometimes making, it's not the right choice, but you're like, I want to do this anyway. Wonder, is anyone else live right now that is doing anything? Oh, Fantasy Flock is live. Ooh, cool. Great, 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 great. You'll love to see it. Wonder what he's drafting. He's drafting an underdog. I'm assuming a BBM. It's like halfway through. Okay, cool. Good to know. I'm liking the fact we're getting some likes, some views, even though we haven't gotten the draft started. Hoping it's not going down. Yeah, we'll just scoreboard watch the Cavs game until the draft fills. Oh, and the draft fills. We got the 1.10 today. So I am hoping to just draft off my ranks. And if we are not just drafting off the ranks, we will be adjusting as necessary. Um, but obviously we're gonna have to make some positional concessions, I fear. But we are in the draft. We've got Fernami, J. Ruth, Malone beats the books. Malone beats the books. This is where you can see my dyslexia coming out. Opluk, Uzowitz, Che Thompson, Davis 51, M. Carlson 220, King Leonidas. I've heard of King Leonidas before. Myself, obviously. Uh, Menebu and Robman. Already. I've never seen this G before on the thing. I wonder if that's like a little like profile thing or what. Taking Gibbs 101, obviously I disagree with, but perfectly reasonable. We got the two running backs everyone thinks should come off the board, coming off the board first. I'm surprised I have two Jonathan Taylor shares. I don't want to be in on Jonathan Taylor. I think he's going to fall flat on his face, but if you're going to be in on Jonathan Taylor, this is where you need to be in on him on. Actually, the other thing is, like, we're looking at Indianapolis stuff. Like, Seth McGowan, DJ Giddens, like, these backup running backs are not inspiring at all. Like, if we get a Jonathan Taylor injury, later in the summer, we're going to be picking up one of these guys with some good camp news, almost certainly. Uh, so by ADP, we expect Taylor and then two of the receivers to come off, which means we will almost certainly be taking Ashton Jeanty here at the 1.10. And if Amon-Ra goes off the board, the psychic's going to agree with us, which is very funny. Because I don't often expect the psychic to agree with what I'm doing. James Cook goes off the board. Wow, I hate James Cook. I think James Cook is a terrible pick. But I want wide receivers a lot less than the sidekick does. I mean, yeah, I think I had Amon-Ra over Saquon. I didn't actually see. So we got St. Brown, Jefferson, Henry. It's gonna say Saquon, A-Chain, Hampton. I go Saquon, Hampton, KW3. See what this guy wants. He wants Saquon. I wow. Shoots up Trey McBride. That's interesting. Because I was thinking maybe the difference between these guys and these guys is these tight ends. But I definitely don't think they're above the tight ends. So we're reaching a bit on both of our picks, but starting off with a very solid running back room. And then the second we take Hampton, Trey McBride drops back down. I wish I understood why the sidekick did that. I wish I did. Um, like I'm not even sure that if I asked Pat Crane or Sacrilegious or Shady that they could tell me, like this or if it would just be the Sims or the Sims. You know, you must trust them. Yeah. So I'm really hoping that Javante falls to us at 34. That'd be a really nice 1, 2, 3 to pick up. If not, we might be looking at. It's like by ADP, we'll be looking at Devonta Smith and a bunch of these receivers. By my ranks, looking at Devonta Smith, Zay Flowers, a bunch of these receivers. So we'll see. I think, yeah, I really don't like King Leonidas' draft so far. Cook Brown, CeeDee Lamb, Drake London. Like this is such an interesting start because it's like it could be really good. Like those are two really really high scoring players with late bye weeks, but you gotta be worried about where your running back points are going to come from, especially early in the season. And I think for me, it's like once I hit three of these early running backs, I'm done because I want my early running backs to be able to hit my lineup every week. Because I'm spending early picks on these guys. I need them to be able to hit my lineup, and if I'm getting like four straight running backs, like unless they're all four like huge ranking fallers, and I'm not touching running back for the rest of the draft. Like having the joy of not having to touch running back for the rest of the draft is nice. Yeah, for Nami, like this is great for single week upside. It's not great for week in week out. I'm telling you what you're doing. Like we're gonna compare what Frenami gets versus whoever takes Lamar Jackson. And I just want you and me and everyone to just think about what the difference is between these combinations and teams. Because for me, it's a big difference. All right, so by my ranks, pretty clear. Javante is the top, followed by ETN and Kyron Williams. That is the same thing by ADP, and we're gonna get one of them. We're gonna get either Javante, Travis Etienne, or Kyron, which I love to see. This guy is probably very happy. Be able to get a running back he feels good about. But who knows? Maybe not. Yeah, he took Javante. It's a little bit unfortunate. Travis Etienne. So we're left with Kyron, who I'm not in love with, but as a third running back, I'm still, even with Blake Corum, I'm reasonably sure, at least early in the year, he's going to get things. He's going to get the vast majority of the work. He's next to Marion Hampton and Ashton GT with 2 different bye weeks, and I can just not think about running back anymore and go, okay, I'm going to get some, whatever the best receiver is coming out of here. David Montgomery over Bucky Irving, like really, really, like I don't understand this this David Montgomery rise. Okay, so this is like way high for Lamar, and I'm still gonna look at this 2v2 and be like, yeah. So are you sure you like this? So we've got this guy getting Lamar and Zay, doing a lot of Baltimore team level correlation. Super great, super cool. And we're gonna look at who my guy Fernami can get over here at the 4.12. Or actually, sorry, that's not how this works. So it's Pickens. I guess the answer is you couldn't actually, like, he couldn't wait to get Lamar Jackson to come back to him. But yeah, like the difference between Pickens and Flowers, reasonably significant, possibly. Like Collins and Flowers even more. So I think I like Collins better than Pickens. Difference between Allen and Lamar, not that significant. Like, would you rather have Josh Allen, Devontae Adams, or Lamar Jackson, Zay Flowers? I would rather have Lamar Jackson, Zay Flowers, personally. But DJ Moore, oh my gosh. Well, this is where, you can still find edge. Stacking in the Eliminator. Like, it's not necessarily a bad thing, but when you're pulling people up the same way you would in BBM to stack in the Eliminator, you're just losing out on so much projected volume, so many projected points. And for what? Single week upside? So that you can bink somebody who's binking on you? Like, nah. If other people want to draft that way, be my guest. I'm not doing that. If you want team level correlation, you're gonna have to do something else for me. I'm surprised with the Scataba fall. This is what? Yeah, 53 for him? Yeah, that's a little bit late. Um, yeah, I don't know about this. I may take Judkins. Like, what's the last receiver? Yeah, Burden's the last receiver that I would want to take over Judkins. I sure as shit ain't taking Colston Loveland. I I hate his profile. I hate it with a burning, burning passion. Yeah, okay. Luther Burden goes, so I probably take Judkins here and just am done at running back. Because Judkins is, in fact, the last running back that I'm really happy with. Like, I'm happy to take Judkins in the fifth, like late fifth, in this contest. So, yeah, we're gonna have a nice running back room. Week 11 may be a little bit tough. There just means we don't want to stack week 11 buys at the other positions. So we're either getting Carnell Tate or Roma Dunze. Jane Daniels goes, I'm happy to take Roma Dunze here. Like, he had a weird year last year. I think he can, it's non-zero that he is the alpha in this offense still that we want to be in on. Like, Luther Burden and Colson Loveland definitely showed a lot last year at the end of the year, but a bunch of weird stuff was happening with Rome. Oh, man, I really tried to hold that yawn in. But, when you're laying in your bed, you gotta accept that, sometimes you're just gonna yawn. And that's okay. Oh, I should post on X. I say that I'm live. Yeah, do that real quick. I think, yeah. Let's say impromptu bed stream for Eliminator 3 out of 150. And then we'll drop a link to the stream. There has to be a link somewhere. One would think there's a link somewhere. See if I post that here. Nope, that doesn't do shit. Yeah, that's not where I should be going for showing off. Don't let me miss a pick. Uh, nope, that's not what I want either. You know what? Let me just, yeah. I'll pull up the stream in a different tab and then swap it over. And slam that down. And yeah, no. Post that. I'm sure people will be like, oh, what the hell is going on? What do you mean bed stream? And I mean, I'm streaming in my bed because I'm tired. I'm dealing with all this bullshit. Okay, so, yep, me and the sidekick. Oh, me and the sidekick do not agree. Sidekick wants Jaden Reed. I want Chris Godwin. I think the answer is Justin Herbert. Come on down. Again, I like the running back to quarterback uh, correlation on the same team. So that's part of my thought process here. I'm just also maybe need to move Godwin down in my ranks. Because I'm like, I was looking at him and I'm like, mm, I'm not that excited. I'm really not. And this is where it's like, you see, I've got these quarterbacks in a tier. It doesn't really matter for me which one I end up picking, so I'll use the sidekick to break the tie instead of my ranks between Lawrence, Dart, and Purdy. They're all effectively the same in my mind. And they've got different bye weeks than the quarterback I already have, so we're good. Alrighty. I think the board bit will only continue as long as I'm in the competition, so we'll be getting a board update on Wednesday, I think, is my plan, as long as I'm still in the competition. So if I'm still in the competition, we'll be getting a board update on Wednesday. Otherwise, frankly, I'm not spending the extra 25 bucks on magnets or whatever. Like, making that was significantly more expensive than I thought it was going to be. And I think it's funny, so I think it's worth it. But it is also more expensive than I thought it was going to be. So I'm gonna wait and see if I continue in the contest before being super into that. Let's see how the Cavs are doing. 45 to 29. I agree. Knew the Pistons were frauds. We knew it all along. We've been new. And this is with like sort of mediocre games from Mitchell and Harden right now. Harden with a classic shooting uh, two shots in an elimination game. Yeah, that's not gonna help his case at all. All right, let me make sure. Like when I'm doing that, does my camera move? I think it does. Well, you know, you're watching someone lay in the bed and do a live stream, so I think hopefully it's not a big problem that the camera moves around a little bit. But if it is, let me know in the chat. and I will fix that up real quick. All right. So we got let's look and see how the King Leonidas team. So two running backs I think are bad. I like his receivers that he went with. I think again, this correlation. You just can't be doing it. You can't be doing it. Like, do you really you think you're gonna sit there? What the hell? Hold up. Sorry about that. Also, that's that's really funny. I didn't even know you could do that on Underdog. So sorry, I did not mean to jump scare you guys. I was just trying to zoom in on what the hell is that Trevor Lawrence headshot? That's some of the ugliest hair I've ever seen in my life. Yeesh. Like, I'm no model, but yeesh. Alrighty, let's go back to back to drafting fantasy football teams. So, by my ranks, it's Laporta and then Pittman. Here, I mean, by my ranks, it's Bo Nix, but we don't need a third quarterback. Certainly not yet. We may pick up like Mendoza later if we're like really confident with all of our skill position stuff. But yeah, I think a Michael Pittman is what I'm hoping comes to me. He did not. Why would he? So the psychic says Wandale or Romeo Dobbs. My ranks says QJ. I think I'm gonna skip over QJ and go down to Wandale, like the psychic says. 'Cause I don't. I've been ragging on everyone else for stacking. QJ's not great. No need to stack him. We want to keep the week 7 and week 11 buys out of my receiving room, so I don't really love Romeo Dubs either. I know I said I wasn't gonna do another running back, but Aaron Jones is calling to me. Like the next receiver I'd be comfortable with is like Shakir or Worthy. Uh, yeah, let's go Worthy. No, let's go Shakir. Well, sometimes your fingies are not fast enough. My fingies were not fast enough. Um, but Xavier Worthy, you know, could still be a great guy. Could still be a great pick. So we're gonna trust. We're gonna say we don't need Aaron Jones after we've got all these other people already here. Like, are you seriously telling me that Gene T. Hampton, Kyron, and Quinshon Judkins can't get me through the year? Like, if they stay healthy and everything's good, like that feels really nice. Yeah, this wide receiver room is gonna need some work though. I'm thinking I probably don't want to take another quarterback unless I have to. So I've got what is that? 8 more picks between receiver and tight end. Yeah, feels pretty good to me. Feels like a pretty good spot to be in. Um, yeah, you're looking. Some people are taking running backs here, like 10th round, Kenneth Gainwell. I don't know, man. It just feels so bad. Like when you draft BBMs and then draft here, and you're like, oh my gosh, all the running backs are 15 times more expensive. It feels like it's just, oh, it feels so bad. But you need running back points. It's like quarterback in Superflex. You know what feels great in Superflex? When I get to take Bijan Robinson and Ashton Jeanty on the same team, that feels great. You know what doesn't feel great? Having to take quarterbacks. Like it's just the anchoring. Just like it, even though it's not bad, it feels bad. It feels so incredibly bad. Oh, alas. Woe is us drafting here. Want to see on stream? Yeah, y'all can see the beautiful $36 that I have in my underdog account. I fear I will have to be joining the Deposit Kingdom soon because yeah, I need more money in my account. So by ADP, we should be looking at some tight ends going off the board here. Before us is Kelsey Andrews. Um, Kelsey, Andrew, Kincaid. By my ranks, it's Andrews, Tyron Tracy, and then Jawan Johnson. Yeah, I fear I would rather have Jawan Johnson than Dalton Kincaid, straight up. But I will take Mark Andrews over. Oh, we're uh we're having a great time. Yeah, oh, you've got to be kidding me! Snipe me on Mark Andrews. So yeah, I guess we're going down the sidekick. And the sidekick was like, "What the hell are you doing?" And I'm like, "I'm taking Jawan Johnson as my tight end one, 20 picks ahead of ADP because he's good on a good offense. Why would I not want him?" And then I think we're gonna take Diggs over a second tight end here. I think we can get better tight ends later, and I think if Diggs signs in the right spot, if he signs with the Raiders, if he signs with uh the Ravens, maybe even like he could be a really good receiver asset at this price, and we need really good receiver assets, obviously, when our, wide receiver three is Wan'Dale Robinson. Nothing against Wan'Dale Robinson, but if he's my wide receiver three on DraftKings, I feel a lot better, especially with Dayball still being around. Yeah, I'm glad I got the kinks of the stream worked out, because that was a bit annoying at the beginning of the stream. Let's take a look at the Cavs again. 51 to 35. Oh, this is beautiful. This is absolutely beautiful. Sam Merrill going 5 for 7 and 4 of 6 from 3. That's pretty nice. You expect that to cool down. Yeah. Cade with minus 15. Oh, that feels awful for them. But yeah, the reason I care about this level is because other than the fact that I think James Harden has done a lot and gets no respect, I have a dance team that has a bunch of the Cavs on it. Like, I think it's best or it has a full five for Cavs Spurs with, I think, Champagny as the forward. Like, the joy of Cavs Spurs is all the forwards suck. So, like, obviously, I'm not expecting to win ever because that team doesn't have Wemby on it. But, you know, if Cavs sweep the Spurs in the finals, it's, theoretically possible if we get there. And, another $7 means that's one more Eliminator draft that I can do before having to click that deposit button. And you never know when they might have a special surprise deposit promo. So, always want to wait to deposit until you have to. All right. So, we're coming up on our next pick. Rashid Shaheed, come on down. The price is right. Getting these receiver fallers down here feels great. I say that, and then the two guys before me are just going to snipe the two receivers I want, and I'm going to take someone who I like, but who I don't want to take right now, in Travis Hunter. You've got, yep. Why did I open my mouth? So, I would take Travis Hunter. Same thing as Stephon Diggs. If these reports are correct, and he's like, oh, actually, I am playing both sides of the ball, why would you assume that I'm only playing one? If that's what happens, it's like, oh, no, this is great. Like, I just get to have a guy that has a ton of weekly ceiling with good to great route participation, or like good to okay to good route participation. We know he's explosive. He's the number 2 overall pick in the draft. Like, you know, you have that little sliver of pick 6 equity. Just gotta believe. And then, obviously, my highest known running back is Brenton Strange. Psychic says Brenton Strange. Brenton Strange, come on down. So we'll probably get one more tight end, and then fill out the rest of our receiver room. for this draft, and then we'll be done and dusted, and it'll feel great. I think this is going to be a great team. Oh, you better. Did I snipe myself by talking about how well this stream was going? I fear I might have. That's unfortunate. But, you know, we persevere. As long as it all goes into the video at the end, it'll be fine. So we got a little bit before our next pick. And we're at this like very like backup running back sort of range. I think I have Emmanuel Wilson a touch high. Like I like him, but not that much, really. Like he's a bit worrisome for me, even there. Mendoza, if he falls to us, maybe a good pick. He'll probably be starting by week 7 or week 8, and be able to help us through those maybe. And then we'll probably take a super late tight end. I'm trying to think if there's any reason, like, would I want to grab, like, Mike Washington in case something happens to GT? And I don't think so. I think if something happens to GT, this team just sort of sucks. And we have to live with that. Cavs Pistons, still going well. Slowly. Yeah, let's go back and look at Leonidas' team, see if it's gotten better. Like he sniped me a couple times, like with the Andrews and the Shaheed picks. So that makes me like his team even more. But yeah, you're just looking at Fernami, Rodriguez in the 8th, you, Mason in the 10th, you, Marks in the 12th, you, Robinson in the 14th, you. Like even though these are like where these players should be going, feels awful. And that, for what it is, that receiving room is just meh. 171. Emmanuel Wilson. Emmanuel Wilson, Dylan Sampson, JCM, Jacobs, and Bucky Irving. Yeah. Oh, wow. This guy's certainly hoping his wide receivers carry him through. Certainly hoping that George Kittle has the fastest Achilles recovery known to man. Like, this guy's just not going to have tight end points early in the year. With Kittle and Sadiq, like, what are you thinking, bro? What are you doing? I'm telling you guys, there are edges in these contests, especially these side contests, that people mainly draft BBMs. They're in BBM mindset. They come over to this contest and they're like, I'm going to do the same thing I do in BBM, but just tweak it a little bit when it's a completely different contest with completely different goals. Okay, are we sure this guy's not watching the stream? This guy's pissing me off. This guy is pissing me off. Um, I might end up taking Mike Washington. I doubt it. I think we'll just take yeah, we can take Barner. Barner's fine. Just tidy up this tight end room. And then really? You want Dontavian Wicks over Devon Stribling? Like you I don't think so. I think I'm gonna take Stribling. Like, he's probably gonna be on the field at the beginning. Who's to say he can't be Emeka Ibuka-esque in the first couple of weeks of the season? I'm certainly not gonna say that, especially after I just picked him. But yeah, I don't think there's another quarterback I would want to select. So we're running with the two quarterbacks. I mean, I will say, if I get Mike Washington at my next pick, I'll pick him. I guarantee you that. Otherwise, it'll just be highest receivers to finish this draft out. And I think we're just doing the one draft tonight. I'm just gonna watch the second half of the Cavs game on my own. I just wanted to do a little eliminator drafting today, and I'm like, oh, I guess that means I gotta boot up the stream. So you just get sort of me This is much less in-stream energy. This is just me being on stream, talking through the draft. We'll hearing myself what I want to say, what I'm thinking later, and you get to see me with a little bit of a headache on a Sunday, pulling some eliminator drafts, or pulling a singular eliminator draft, taking Juwan Johnson 20 picks ahead of ADP, because why not? Like, what's the difference? Really, let's be so honest. What's the difference between Juwan Johnson and uh, Hunter Henry? What's the difference between Juwan Johnson and the guy like Jake Ferguson? Like, assuming that the New Orleans offense is like pretty reasonable, I don't see a big difference. What's the difference between him and Kelsey? Like, from last season? Last season were pretty similar. Him and Mark Andrews, like these like legacy tight ends. Like, obviously, once you start getting into the Laporta and Kraft range, those guys have significantly higher like long-term upside to cases. But I would argue that Juwan Johnson's single game upside is right there. I mean, he's had 12 target games. I think he has a double-digit catch games. Juwan Johnson. Let's look at his stuff. ESPN, see all. Okay, so it was the opening game where he had 11 targets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay. I was making sure he didn't, we weren't looking at preseason stuff. That would be weird. But yeah, look, 8 for 9 for 89, 4 for 4 for 95, 4 for 4 for 92, 5 of 8 for 53, 5 of 7 for 79. Like, those are good weeks, like, at the tight end position. Like, if you mix these touchdowns in the right, like, if you get more of these touchdowns, which she should, variants should smooth that out. Oh, we went from 11 picks to being on the clock. Oh, shit. All right, so I don't think we're taking Braylon Allen. I don't think we're taking another tight end. I think Pat Bryant. Pat Bryant does feel good. He can catch touchdowns starting week 1, and that's what I need on this team. Someone who can catch some tutties starting week 1. And we're at 2483. He's saying Jeremy Bernard. I'm saying Chris Bell. We're going to look at our buys. Actually, I'm not saying Chris Bell. I need to move that. I'm not saying A.D. Mitchell either. Is it really Braylon? It could be Braylon. You know what? Let's do Braylon Allen. I think like if Braylon Allen gets the starting role, like he could be really, really, really good in it. And like he has the actual opportunity. Like if he gets the opportunity, he's explosive enough and good enough as a player that he could be outscoring Kyron or Quinshon Judkins in any given week, which is not really something that you expect or like think could really happen often out of your 18th round pick. But yes, for the recap of the team at the end of the day, we got Justin Herbert and Brock Purdy at quarterback. We ended up with 5 running backs, 4 through the first 5 rounds. Jeanty, Hampton, uh, Kyron Williams, and Quinshon Judkins, with a nice sprinkling of Braylon Allen in our last pick. At receiver, we have Garrett Wilson, Roma Dunze, Wandale Robinson, Xavier Worthy, Stephon Diggs, Travis Hunter, Dazon Stribling, and Pat Bryant. A bit weak of a room, but you know, you just gotta cobble points together, hopefully. Hopefully you're getting 20 plus points out of a lot of these guys. And then at tight end, we cobbled it together with Juwan Johnson, Bretton Strange, and AJ Barner, which we should hopefully be outscoring our opponents at the tight end position on average. But I think that's all for our stream today. I hope you enjoyed watching me lay in bed and draft an Eliminator draft. Because I, believe it or not, definitely enjoyed doing it. So we may see some of these streams pop up at random times in the future. But for now, we will. I'll see you guys on Friday at 4, 100%. And uh, fingers crossed for so he's thinking can tout stuff tomorrow. And oh yes, the board video will be on Wednesday. Board video on Wednesday for anyone that is interested in the continuation of the board, and we'll post that when that goes up on X as well. So thank you so much for watching, guys, and I will see you soon.